Good evening, Young Kings. Time for your word motivation this evening on Self Love Saturday.
Thank you, dear.
No problem. Is that better?
Yep, much better, much better. Decided to come out to the Black Rock Cafe, have dinner, treat myself. Um, Self love. Had a great day. As I mentioned, did the 7 miles this morning. Uh, Went through that whole endeavor and then went to the counseling session. An amazing counseling session that took place today. I mean, amazing. Um, we were supposed to only be in an hour for the counseling session, and we're going to go through this whole process together, meaning that the purpose of this was not for me to get on the other side of things and then to come back and reflect on it and tell you what I did, but to actually take you through it while I was going through it. So, got to the counseling session this morning, and as I mentioned, it was an amazing session. We were supposed to be in there for an hour, and we looked up and had been in there for 2 hours and 45 minutes. She said, we'll cut it off, and we'll continue on next Saturday. But I'm so excited about this journey. The only regret that I really have about this process is that it took me so long to get to a point, to this broken state, to recognize how beneficial something like this is. And I've been through counseling before and have went through things that, but it never really manifested and gave me that feeling. Like, I felt like I was just going through the motions on other things. Like, for me, I spend a lot of time in my head thinking already, so you can't just come with surface stuff for me, because I'll see through it, and it can't just be superficial. It can't be a one size fits all model that this is what you've been using for your other clients, so you want to come try it out on me. So that just doesn't work, and I'll see through it. So, but this one, it felt so genuine, it felt so authentic. Like I mentioned, it was 2 hours and 45 minutes, and it didn't feel like it. It just felt like times were just going by so seamlessly. So there's a few things that I want to get into, and that's why I came back on. I did a video earlier today after the run, and I now want to kind of get into doing how that counseling session impacted me. Like I said, the only regret is that I have to come there in a broken state. But she said something to me about that. She said she wants to redefine what I call a broken state. And she told me, like, since I'm receptive of growing in the midst of heartache, like, my brokenness is a gift. And when she said it, I never really recognized, it as a gift. Although I understood that it was something that I wanted to go through and learn from and mature from. But the way she said it, she says a lot of people go through stuff and they don't learn from it. They think it's just coincidentals, and they just go on with their life to the next stage, and they really don't get to a point where they grasp the full lesson. So let me finish this soup. Not eating your face, but this clam chowder is good. But Self Love Saturday, had to take y'all out to the Black Rock. I ordered, this where they cook the steaks on the rock. So I got the dynamic duo with the steak and shrimp, clam chowder, and just kind of self-love journey of trying to appreciate myself. But when she was saying your brokenness is a gift, like, if you receive it as that, because the fact that you're at this state right now, it propelled you to seek help, so it's going to project you into your future. Like, if you receive it right, and going through that process, this is a painful, like I keep saying in these videos, I understand why people don't do it. I understand, like, why people just stay on the surface and they self-medicate. Like, I have self-medicated for years and just went through the process of going through to get through and not really learning from it. You know, I got to eat it while it's hot. But so when she said your brokenness is a gift, um, I receive it as that. So, and I've been talking in a few videos about redefining my thoughts on what I'm going through. So the fact is that it got me here. Everything that I had in my life has got me here. Like up until this point, I thought success would get me out of everything. Like just be successful, just continue to grind and just continue to do that, and that answers all problems. But the reality of it is, it's like until I deal with this, I don't go to the next level. So the fact that I'm here dealing with it voluntarily communicates that I'm ready to receive this gift. You know, and the thing she was talking to me about a few things, and what I liked most about the session is that she kept bringing me back into the moment, like not letting my conversation veer off track into projections on what I wanted to accomplish outside of me. Like, you know, and back to the quote that she had in the things that he who dreams, no, he who looks without dreams, but he who looks within awakens. So she kept awakening me during this process, you know. There were a few times that she was asking me for my goals and my outcomes, and I had some goals and outcomes that were codependent, meaning that I want to restore my marriage. And she was like, "Hey, I want to let you know, Paul, right now, I'm not here to save your marriage because that's her choice if she chooses to leave and or chooses to stay. Like, our work here is not geared towards that because you may find out during your healing process that that marriage is not healthy for you. So I just want you to be open to that. I want you to focus on goals towards yourself." And part of me was offended by that. But the reality of it is that it's true. Like, I can do all these things and my marriage still not work. Meaning that she was trying to say, manage your expectations. Like, you doing work because you need to grow. You're not doing work hoping to impress someone and be accepted. Like, be enough right now. And that's something I've been trying to learn how to do, is recognize that I am enough. Like, I am a pursuer. I chase goals. I chase things. And the thing about this is, like, I get those things and they don't fulfill me. Like, you get a degree, you want another one. You know, you get a promotion, you start looking for the next one. You get a house, you want a bigger house. You get a car, you drive it, and then you want another car. It's like, it's always something external, and it's always keeping me searching. And she recognized that too. And I mean, her insight and how attentive she was to some of the things that we're saying, and forcing me to analyze and dissect things and not just accept it and move on. She really was intentional about her engagement with me. And the one thing she mentioned is that, like, I've been in this performance-based relationship thing, not only with my marriage, but because I've had this desire just to be loved and to be accepted. And I find myself thinking, like, if I become more successful, then my wife is going to love me more. And when I don't get that love, then it feels like rejection. And then I go to a point where I feel like I need to be accepted by someone. So taking ownership of that rejection and ownership of, like, this is not a performance-based love. And we dove into some of the childhood things about, you know, the father, about the mother, and some of those in the earlier videos were broken yet brilliant. And we went there, but we went there with the intent of not placing blame, but to really assess those things in your life. And I'm sure my steak is going to come out here pretty soon, so let me do another thing with it.
And then your food should be coming up.
Okay, can you bring seasoning when they bring the steak out?
Montreal steak?
What else do you have?
I have like a pepper. It's not pepper, but it's like a mix of different, like, garlic.
Yeah, that sounds good right there.
You want
Let's
that
do that one.
No
Yeah.
problem.
But anyway, like, and that as the means to justify why you are where you are. But to get to a point and understand um, how those things impact you, and how it shapes your decision making process. Um, like I recognize, and she recognized through this thing, and it's during this process. It's an internal one, so it's not allowing external factors to control you. But she can recognize, like, both me and my wife were broken going into this, and two broken people are going to hurt each other more. Um, my steak is here, so we're going to pause this. We'll continue to do that. Yep.
More rock sauce? Just one more? All right.
And she said she's going to bring the seasoning. Oh, yeah. All right. You got a plate? Oh, that's a little too much. Nope. I'm good. I'm good. Look at that, y'all. Steak. See, I know it is self-love. Ain't nobody else here with me. But the point of this is, like, let me sit this down, see if I can put y'all down here, right here. Yeah, that works. Ooh, yeah. Slice that up. Wow, this is strong. Look at that. Just be right. Be patient. It's up of Saturday anyway.
You doing okay over here?
Yep, she's going to bring the. Yes.
Okay, and he's bringing you that side plate?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, awesome. It looks good. I'll be right with you. Good stuff. Butter on that shrimp. I'm taking it long with that plate. I like my steak medium rare. Look at that. That's flavor right there. That boy's chef. We have to make do with this appetizer flavor. See what I'm eating in front of y'all. Scoot that to the side out your face. The point is, like, not deceiving while I eat in front of y'all. But she kept bringing me back into the moment and not being distracted by external goals. Like, and she kept referring me back. She's like, hey, your marriage may not be able to be saved. and wanted to know if I was open to that. And I don't think I'm ready to accept that, but I'm ready to take this journey as well. Meaning that my end state is to be in a healthy relationship with my wife. But if she doesn't want me and she divorced me, then I don't have a choice. And that's what's my mindset going in. But to be honest, coming down here, because Black Rock is about an hour from my house and it's down towards Detroit. And I had a hard time driving here. I mean, because at first I was excited. You know, I had a great day, and we'll get back into some of the other things I did during the day. But I'm leaping forward into some things. It's like when I was driving, I was, just listening to music, having a good time. And then as I got about 10 miles from Lansing, I realized, I was like, man, this is the same road. The wife been driving down to see dude. And I was like, I found myself thinking about that. It's like, how willing and receptive she was to go down there and see this individual. I'm not sure to the level of their engagement, but I just know during the course of our 25 years, she hasn't had that willingness to come see me or to consider me. And that's part of that thing that I had to correct myself and keep telling myself, hey, Andrew, you are enough. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what she was doing. But the reality of the matter is, it's like, I kept thinking, like, was she excited on this drive? Was she motivated? Was she, like, what was her train of thought for this hour going down there? And what was it coming back? Was she, like, wishing she could stay down there or what it was? And I found myself in this destructive pattern, and I know that it's destructive for me to even be thinking that, but it was the first time I drove down in this direction since I found out that this has been going on. And it fucked up my mind quite a bit, I must admit. So, and it took me back to the counseling session. It's like, she may choose to leave. She may have had enough with you, and she may choose to do her own thing in life. And that became a finale, like when I was driving down, that something in this dude drew her out of her comfort zone to drive. That, no matter how long it's been, but he drew that out in a short amount of time, which took me over 25 years, and I still haven't been able to draw that willingness out from her. So it's like, is she really gone? I don't know. But so when I was in a counseling session, she said, you got to release people to be who they are. You can't force people to be in your life. You can't force people to love you. You can't force people to appreciate you. I mean, they have freedom to choose. And cognitively, I understand that, but relationally, I don't want to accept that. I mean, I think that I could work and improve to be better. But then she kept reminding me, it's like, yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. She kept reminding me that I'm getting back into this performance space. Like, if I do A, then I'm expecting her to do B, and then the result will be C. But the reality of it is, it's like, I only can control A, Andrew. My goal should be centered around Andrew. And it was hard for me to try to not have that family goal. And, she gave me some homework, and that's the other thing about her. It's like, it wasn't just superficial, shallow talking. It was her giving me homework. She gave me an article to read. She gave me some questions to answer. And she gave me something to ponder. And we'll get into that on subsequent videos this week. as I start doing the homework and start going through the articles and start reading some of the stuff. But very interesting journey thus far. And I know I'm just beginning, um, and I know I got a long way to go. But I'm glad I got started. Day one, try to put myself first today. But I noticed, like, even in putting myself first, like, yes, I'm eating dinner by myself, but even in putting myself first, like, I went home after counseling and I mowed my grass. And then I went over to mow the other two houses' grass, the one where the wife's staying at and the one where my daughter's staying at. And it felt good. I mean, I didn't expect anything out of it. I didn't go in the house and announce I'm out mowing the grass. I unloaded the truck, mowed it, left one house, and went over to the other house. And going over to my daughter's house, she stays in the house that Laura's dad left us. So we technically have three houses. And she's at work. But I did bump into her boyfriend while he was over there. And me and this dude, we just don't get along. We started off on the bad term. And I've tried to like him, but I never come across as liking him. So, and we always have these awkward engagements. But this was growth even today with me. Like, I was going over with the purpose of mowing the grass. I wasn't planning on seeing him. So when I was pulling up, he was outside, putting some stuff in the car. And I just say, hey, what's up? I'm here to mow the grass. He said, yeah, my lawnmower's been broke. And we had such, I won't say we had a genuine fellowship, but we just we didn't discuss the brokenness of our relationship. And what I recognize byproduct of what I just went through is that no one wants to be reminded of their worst moment in life. So I had to try to eat that while it's still warm. But the thing about it, it's like I pulled the lawnmower out, and he's like, all right, I'm going to pull the weeds, I'm going to go change shoes. I said, well, I'll start mowing and stuff. And we just started working together, not even discussing the brokenness of our relationship. And gave him the weed whacker to start doing the weed whack thing while I was mowing the grass. And realized, like, he's probably not used to weed whacking. He probably just used to mowing the grass, and that's it. Because he wanted to hurry up and do it, because he didn't want me to mow the grass. I guess, he didn't want me to seem like I was doing it for my daughter, that he was there to take over. But, men just, don't like to have other men around. And, there's been an element of him trying to divide my daughter from me. So I understand he has her heart. So the worst thing I could do is, not like him, and then end up pushing my daughter away even more. So I let him mow grass, and I found myself doing the weed whacking and trying to explain to him what I was doing, just like, hey, this is how we, you do it up against the house, and just simple stuff. Like, then I realized, I was like, as much as I have disliked this dude, he's a young king too. I mean, like, redefining how I looked at him from a perspective of him not being what I want him to be, to understanding, like, he's wandering around lost and aimless too, trying to figure shit out in life, making mistakes along the way. So redefining that, and having a great appreciation for that. So it was a bit of yard therapy and kind of a story on there. And this is before my destructive pattern of tearing up the house and going to jail. But I was over there one day mowing the yard at the wife's house. And the neighbor, and we've been living over there about 20 years. And the neighbor across the street has the best yard in the neighborhood, has always had the best yard. I mean, his yard is laid. I mean, this dude spends so many hours in the yard, planting flowers, edging, mowing. I mean, he mows probably like 2 or 3 times a week, painting the house and doing all this stuff. So one day I'm over mowing the grass, and after I finished mowing, we just engaged in a conversation. Now this dude, he's a little older, but he's a associate pastor. He's a chaplain with one of the automotive companies, GM, and on the UAW board, the union board, and all this stuff. So he's very respected and very like religious stuff, right? And we were talking, and it got to like, hey, he asked me, is everything all right? I said, yeah, I moved out and got a house over there. And then it like he wanted to vent. He had like this breakdown moment, and he was like, man, I know how you feel. How you doing? I'm good, thank you.
All right, no problem. Let me
Yep.
take this other way. Ooh, this is
Yeah. You got it?
Yep.
All right.
Ooh, yes, got it.
All right. But he just wanted to vent. So I was just like, oh, let me listen to him, see what he's doing. And he's like, man, my wife asked me the other day if I had a chance to do it all over again, would I marry again? And he said, I looked at her and said, hell no. And I'm thinking, like, dude, I have never, in 20 years, I have never heard this dude cuss anything. And he just started going in. And he said, man, I've been so discontent in this marriage. He said, I do yard therapy. He said, when I get frustrated, I just come out and I work in the yard. And then I got this motorcycle. I just go on a ride and just give me a ride and go out there. And before, I was looking at him like he just like doing the yard. Like, and he said he'd been out in the yard just to free his mind, to clear up things. And I'm thinking like, man, you've been really going through some shit this last 20 years because your yard is immaculate. And when you're not in the yard, you're on that bike. And we just laugh. But the reality of it is, it's like the perspective. Like, on the outside looking in for 20 years, I'm thinking this dude is over there happily married. He's a pastor, you know, he's an associate thing and all this stuff going on. And the reality of it is, he's struggling too. He's holding on by thread. So the people who you think are doing well, you know, they have issues too. That's some good mashed potatoes. I'm gonna take another bite of that. You put one steak on that. But I say that people are not better than you. They go through stuff too. They have those moments, and you just gotta recognize that it's a season. Like, and in that season, sometimes it's gonna be hard, sometimes it's gonna be difficult. But the reality of it is, it's like, play your role. So where I'm at on the self-love, today was a beautiful day. I mean, I wasn't down as much as I thought I was until I got on the drive down here, and that disturbed me. And now I got to drive back because I'm not going to spend the night down here. So I'll drive back. It's my daughter's 18th birthday tomorrow. But the reality of things are, it's like, this is the first self-love Saturday, and I plan on doing many more. So I'm looking forward to this journey of disconnecting and just trying to treat myself. So I don't want to go overboard with it because I don't just want to be alone. And I told the wife, I says, I'm going to go to restaurants and there'll be an open invitation for you anytime you decide to come. But she's so hurt and bitter that I doubt that she would want to come anytime soon. But it was hurtful that I was wondering, like, have they been here down in Detroit? So, but anyways, I'm going to stop the destructive pattern and get back into self-love, go back home, do some reading. I might even read the article that was given to me. But we'll continue to talk. I wasn't planning on being on here 30 minutes, but just wanted to say a few things to let you know that I did follow through on the self-love. Brought myself out to dinner, probably get some dessert and headed home. But this journey's continuing. So do something for yourself. Love yourself. And that's what she kept directing me towards, like, you are enough. And when you realize that, the people around you will realize that as well. So Reestablish my worth.
Yes.
Your worth. Make it a good evening, young kings.